Let's go. Anyways, we're here for another episode of StroTalks. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the whole Kendrick Lamar and DJ Akademiks drama that got rekindled by DJ Akademiks. Now, before we start this video, I want to just say myself, I am a Drake fan. For those of you who don't like that, I'm sorry to tell you, but I am a Drake fan. But I am a fan of music too, so I like Kendrick just as much. Drake's is my favorite artist. So this whole little thing, I'm probably gonna have a lot of commentary for that part. I'm pretty sure you guys will like that. We kind of go over things how it is, and then you guys let me know in the comments how you feel about it. What's your situation? Are you a Kendrick fan? You a Drake fan? What it is? And that's how we're gonna do it. But anyways, if you are new to the channel, I want you to like, share, subscribe, and tune in. Check out the old content. Let's go. Oh shit, I'm knocking shit over.
Dude on the phone. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put it up there again. They're all begging at the feet of Kendrick Lamar, the only guy with clout. It's crazy. I love you guys on the West Coast, but y'all got zero motion. Like there's nothing going on but Kendrick.
Don't hear no artists from the West Coast.
Put it like this: the hottest thing after Kendrick on the West Coast right now is an AI song. Let's think about that one. It's not thriving. Okay, watch the party die. He watched the coast die. That's what happened. Atlanta's, they're kind of up and down. Florida gonna be Florida. Drill gonna be drilling in Chicago. New York is always bouncing around, right? But when it comes to the West Coast, dead. And they don't want to admit that. Completely dead. It was interesting. Everybody was having this hoorah about Game and YG doing it.
Like, I can tell you right now, I listen to music all day, every day. And the only West Coast artists I really hear like that, if I do hear anything on whether it's streaming like Spotify, Apple Music, or if I'm listening to music on YouTube, I never really hear any West Coast rappers. I don't hear West Coast artists like that.
Nope.
I hear Kendrick. Every so often Game, and that's really it. There's really no West Coast artists that are from the West Coast that are really popping like that. You know what I'm saying? You mainly hear from other states, but a lot from Atlanta, a lot from Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, New York be popping, be doing their thing from time to time, and then Texas be doing their thing from time to time. But it mainly be the South, bro. It mainly be the South. It mainly be the South, bro. Like, I don't really hear a lot from the West Coast at all. Do you?
Versus YG can't sell 20K. Why?
Oh yeah, YG. But he's an afterthought artist.
He got more buzz for a murder than he got for music. I'm sorry to say it, but somebody got to say it. Watch the party die. We watched his coast die. At least when the coast was dead, Game threw that bitch on his back. Carried it for a while. Try to help other artists. Black Wall Street. Try to grab this guy, that guy.
He did.
Kendrick comes through TDE, gets mad at the contract. He didn't like that slave contract. That Top put him in. Got you. He got out of there.
Tyler Creator not from the West Coast. We talking about artists.
To put it in perspective, and people might think this is completely normal. He spoke up more for a Florida artist back in the day. By the way, he should have. I actually give him credit for that. XXXTentacion, when he was going through stuff, he gave him more of a cosign, and even Kodak gave more of a cosign than he's ever given any of these other artists in LA.
Never.
LA rap is dead. We gotta be honest. It's dead. Like, who's
gonna disagree with DJ Akademiks right now with that? Who's gonna disagree? Because let's be honest. Name 3 artists that are from LA. Not Tyler the Creator, because that's muddy, like that's gray area, because he wasn't born in LA. So if you want to say that, then we can say a lot of artists, because a lot of artists live in LA. But we talking about artists that blew up or made it from LA, or blew up and or are from LA. And there's only really a few that come to mind, but the main ones would be Kendrick. Yeah, you got YG, but like I said, YG has sold like 20,000 records. You know what I'm saying? Like, his numbers are deflated like a motherfucker. The Game, but that's back in the day, and before and after that, it would have been like years ago, right? Like over 10 years ago, before you heard like a really, really big You know what I'm saying? LA artists. You know what I'm saying? Like Snoop or something like that. But outside of that, it's been this way for a long time.
Again, I'm not on the West Coast, but who's popping? There's nobody on the West Coast. Well, you know they're gonna tell me Tyler the Creator. It's like, come on, bro. What about Tyler? What about Doja Cat? You know what I'm talking about, right? Let's not mince words here. You know what I'm talking about. We're talking about that circuit that kind of supports each other, where like, you know, like think about the Atlanta circuit. Like the collaborations is very important. Anyway, I digress. I do want to just stick on this one point. And as much as everyone wants to like whitewash it and just kind of like be like, no, there's no problem, because you know now they're trying to like write the narrative that Akademiks is trying to start beef. Does this sound like someone who is like very happy with Kendrick Lamar? This is the game's words to Stat Quo after Stat Quo got checked by Top Dog on a live. So the game calls Stat Quo, and this is the conversation being reiterated by Stat Quo. Listen to this.
I remember this too.
You know, Dot don't get on the phone with everybody, my nigga. He don't talk to niggas. This what y'all gotta
That's a flex.
Understand about Kendrick Lamar. He just not talking to everybody. He talked to Glasses. He's a very few small people that he'll get on the phone with. I think that was another thing that Game had an issue with.
Let's stop it right there. I know you guys on the West Coast, I get it, blood in, blood out, Crip up, all that type of stuff. I get it.
They aren't linking up.
No disrespect to y'all gangs. Keep doing your thing. But we could understand clear context.
Clear. Like
the way this was said.
It's ridiculous.
Kendrick doesn't get on the phone with niggas.
Now, here's my take on that. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be begging, niggas be asking for favors, niggas be doing this, that. I get that. So, him not getting on the phone with niggas, like I said, is a flex. But at the same time, like, if you're trying to uplift your, you know what I'm saying, uplift the black community and do stuff for the culture of the West Coast, then why would you not at least get on the phone with somebody that could get on the phone with these artists, or someone that maybe like you can't really get with the people of the youth and get in their heads, because they might listen to your music, but if you're not gonna step out there and put your face out there and say, hey, look, let me show y'all the right way how to do this thing, other than saying it briefly in a song, then why don't you uplift somebody that can do that and let them go out there and let them speak to the culture, so that LA can be more locked in with each other. Because LA culture, what I've always noticed is that it's always about whoever's on top. That's who y'all support. They ain't but one big dog at one time. That's crazy.
And then that's the game's problem. We're not talking about some blogger trying to like get a confirmation from Kendrick Lamar. We're not talking about some podcast or some media member. We're not even talking about like some fucking new rapper who's trying to get him on a verse. We're talking about someone who he should have ultimate respect for, because that person helped pave the way for him. That nigga helped bring him in the game. We're not, and this is why I was saying JCon was kind of looking a little weird to me. And I love his music, because I'm like, at some point you gotta be able to tell when a nigga don't fuck with you.
That's 100% fact.
You're telling me Kendrick Lamar, who at one point probably answered your calls all the time, right? When it was time for y'all to do music or you give him a cosign, he was there all the time. Mm-hmm. But now he's gotten a place he don't talk to niggas. And now you're calling another man to complain that he won't answer your phone. This sounds like side chick behavior to me. But let's play it again. Maybe my ears is not helping.
He's a very few small people that he'll get on the phone with. I think that was another thing that Game had an issue with. He couldn't get Kendrick on the phone. And I'm trying to explain.
Okay, excuse me? Remember, they all claimed
he mad he couldn't get Kendrick on the phone, but they also be part of the same circle.
There's no issue. But excuse me?
No issue.
That he'll get on the phone with. I think that was another thing that Game had an issue with. He couldn't get Kendrick on the phone.
Now, I do know that there's a bunch of K-bots and people who are endearing to Kendrick. They're gonna say, well, listen, that's Dot. We hear that a lot. That's Dot. Which is, And one of the great things he does.
So y'all cool with that? Y'all cool with this man just coming out here, getting all y'all money, and getting out of here double? Y'all okay with that? This man literally going out here, pop up, do shows, do all this, and then go in the closet, in the crib, lock the doors, and you don't hear from this nigga forever unless you a certain type of nigga. Y'all fan, like, again, I'm a fan of Kendrick, but I'm not a fan of the behavior. I'm not cool with that. Nigga, if you gonna pop out, nigga, pop out on a regular. Don't pop out whenever it's convenient for you. Because if that's the case, then when you pop out when it's convenient for you, maybe we should pop inside. Or that you just stand out there with no saying, with your pockets empty. You know what I'm saying? With no bread in your pockets. And see how you act going forward.
He does PR by not saying anything. I think lack of visibility, we almost start to think that Kendrick isn't online, like he doesn't see these conversations and he doesn't see what maybe other people feel about.
He definitely sees it.
So when these things come up and he doesn't react, you're like, all right, well, if a tree falls in the woods and doesn't make a sound, did it happen, right? As opposed to like other artists, they're on social all the time and they kind of have to respond. And if they don't respond, we know there's something there, right? So Kendrick doesn't respond to anything. So because he doesn't respond to this, you can't be like, oh, this is a thing that shows that maybe he does feel
That's
it.
not how it works.
Nevertheless, I guess we just give him a blanket pass for, in my opinion, odd behavior. I'm sorry. I don't think you get to a point in life or in music where you used to talk to people regularly or you used to have respect for them and be able to pick up their phone call like a average person. Have regular conversations like a average person. But now you're rocking iced out Thorn and Crown.
Oh no, I gotta talk about this. This is something I've been wanting to talk about a long time for you Kendrick fans. Or you diehard Kendrick fans. Let me turn the camera a little bit. Let me tell y'all something. Kendrick, when Kendrick first came out, he was showing love and praise to Drake. He was thanking Drake for allowing him to come on tour with him. He was telling him how great Drake was such a great artist and all this stuff like this. And as Kendrick's gotten bigger, and remember how it started. He started as a little chubby kid, and he kind of grew as he grew up. Now, as he got bigger, not bigger, but as he got bigger as an artist, he started to become a little bit more like everyone else, but in a different way. Because what Kendrick would do is that Kendrick would say, "Okay, I'm cool with everybody." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with anybody trying to give me a chance. To now it's like, oh, I got money now. I got bought out my deal. Wear these iced out crowns, thorns, like I'm the savior of hip hop, and I'm gonna speak to people like I could tell them what they could do, but never actually put any feet on ground. Never actually put any motion to anything he said, but just say it. This sounds like somebody very familiar that came up in the exact same way. I wonder who that could be.
You're now comparing yourself to almost damn near like a deity,
Right.
and now you're above talking to anybody, or at least your peers who used to be able to have some access to you. Okay,
Right.
now I know people are gonna defend it, whatever.
That's the
But
power clout. Power
this
plan.
is where you get
Power
to
clout,
realize,
power
and
fame
I really
in
like
his
that
head.
stat quote. I think you'd probably stop after that because it's getting way too much attention. But I'm glad that he finally brought, because I do it all the time. Shit, I'm gonna bring the personal conversation I had with these rappers, and I'm gonna bring it online, nigga. Let's all talk. The fuck, they don't do. Rappers don't do interviews anymore. So this is the only way we're gonna get the content, right? Rappers don't do interviews. So the nigga who talks to the rapper, I talk to Drake. Drake ain't doing a fucking interview. All right, I told you what Drake said. Everybody talk about it. Like, yo, let's all eat. Fuck it. That's how it works, man. We don't give a fuck anymore. So the guy who this is the first guy, and by the way, stat quote. Did you notice how nervous he was yesterday when he was talking? And I asked him about. I said, "Well, you said Kendrick don't talk to anyone, but you're one of the few that do." He backtracked so much off it. I haven't talked to him in a long time. You could tell he knew his comments were at risk of probably getting cut from Kendrick's. Like, he's gonna be put on the D&D list. You get what I'm saying? You could tell. So
Kendrick
let's
is
listen.
Very
nothing
few
special, man.
small people that he'll get on the phone with. I think that was
Yeah, I'm
another
with you.
thing that Game had an issue with. He couldn't get Kendrick on the phone.
Listen to this.
And I'm trying to explain. He's like, man, why won't he just talk to me?
Thank you. Imagine, and this is where I say
This is
Stackpole
how you
owes
treat
Jason an
your
apology.
OGs.
And really, bloggers like me, Flacco, and a few others, it feels like we're sticking up for the game. It's not even kicking Kendrick's back, and it's nothing with Kendrick and Drake. It's like a human thing, honestly. It's a human thing. It's
yeah.
like a respect thing. It's
I
like,
would see that.
yo, dude, like, yo, do you really think this highly of yourself where, like, niggas who you used to look up to are begging to even, like, have a civil conversation with you? But you could tell, as much as the game disguises it, Stat Quo just gave us the key. You have the game on the phone with him, like, upset. Like, bro, that sounds like, you ever seen an emotional girl? Why won't he get on the phone with me? Like, come on. Like, you have another gangster rapper from your same neighborhood that emotional, begging for a phone call, and you want us to think that, oh, nice, y'all just don't talk. Wait, nigga, you don't like that nigga. So
That's what I would assume. You don't like that nigga. If a nigga that you used to talk to, I don't care how big you got, bro. If a nigga you used to talk to on a regular, who you were learning from, all right, who was teaching you the ropes, you all of a sudden got big enough or whatever, you don't talk to no more. You know, two things I'm gonna assume. Either A, something happened, like, you know, where you feel like you too big to talk to him because of what, because you feel like you're a big dog, or you don't like the nigga. And if we have an interview, you gonna lie to, oh well, we ain't had time to talk in a while, nigga. You don't like that nigga, because even if you didn't like that nigga, you have to either put yourself in the category of saying I don't like the game, or I'm an arrogant ass rapper, and there's nowhere in between. Because now you already put yourself in a situation, you're either gonna be an arrogant ass rapper, or you gonna say, oh, I don't fuck with the game. Because now that scenario is floating. There's no in between. You can't move it somewhere else because you've already hit the end and the end. So now it's like, okay, what is it? Is it this or is it that? See? And these things happen. These things happen because what's a good example? Well, I can't really use that example because he's like that. I don't want to use that example. But there are a lot of examples of people that they start out being homies and cool with everybody, and as they get bigger, and you start asking for attention, or you start asking for this, or asking for that, which that could be what's happening, or they just get, you know, what I'm saying, delusional in their head, saying, oh yeah, I'm the biggest thing out, I'm the biggest thing out. You know what I'm saying? I'm basically, I'm looking at myself as like equal to the highest power, because I got this crown on my head. When you start thinking like that, that could become where you like, oh well, this nigga ain't worth my time no more. But why? He was worth your time before. So what happened in between? Is it that you just don't like him, or is it did you feel that way? You see how I went there? Those are the two options you all gonna come with. Now your Kendrick lover boys, they gonna try to come with any other excuse. But every excuse, when you look at it, it ain't gonna make sense, because those are the only two logical things that make sense. If you don't know any of the in betweens, those are the only things that will come up.
we're gonna call it. You don't like that nigga. And now the idea of trying to understand fully why he don't like the game, we probably shouldn't even try to understand.
You don't like
because
him,
did we
or you think
understand
he
why he
better
ain't
than
really
you?
like Drake? No, he just told us he's the biggest hater, so we don't know why he might not really rock with the game. Obviously, we do know a few things, right? We hear about a video shoot. Suppose he zipped up some hoodie, like they felt that was disrespectful, and then they what else? And the 100 video shoot, which he brought the game, he brought Drake through. But I and others felt bad for Jayceon.
You should.
Jayceon's the game, by the way. We felt bad for him because as a gangster rapper who's always came off as, the super blood, like all his bravado, like he's like a macho MC. That's how I've always looked at the game. To hear Stat Quo,
I'm done with that, man. I've never thought the game was that at all. But anyways, man, what do y'all feel about this situation? Do you feel like Kendrick is that type of person? Do you feel like he's actually acting like that? Do you feel like that's part of who he is? Or do you feel like, he's just one of those niggas that like to pop out and then go ghost? Let me know down in the comments, man. It's your boy Maestro. You already know. StroTalks. Let's go.